Welcome to the Maryland Mortgage Rate Weekly Mortgage Market Update for the week of November 10th, 2014. Hello, I'm John Thomas with Primary Residential Mortgage, here to give you your update. Well, last week, the mortgage bonds did end better than they started. That helped Maryland mortgage rates move lower. If you take a look at the bond chart on the screen, you can see the trend had been for mortgage bonds to sell off, which was moving interest rates higher. And then Friday, you can see that big green candle up. The bond market rallied, and the short-term trend is now for bonds to trade higher, which is to move interest rates lower. So with that in mind, we're going to recommend floating your Maryland mortgage rate to start the week to see if we can have this bond market continue to rally, move Maryland interest rates lower. Now, if we dig into the economic reports that caused that bond market rally, basically it was Friday's jobs report, October 2014 jobs report released by the Labor Department. They were expecting 235,000 jobs to be created. They only got 214,000 jobs, so that's below expectations. And when you dig into those jobs that were created, they weren't really good jobs. They were basically in the bar, restaurant, and retail sectors. And that's kind of can be transient jobs for this time of the season. So stock market didn't really like that. It did sell off. Bond market benefited. Mortgage rates moved lower. So that was good for bond market, but not a great jobs report. Now also we saw unemployment rate tick down from 5.9 to 5.8%. So that was a good move. But the labor force participation rate is still at the lows not seen since 1978 at 62.8%. That measures the number of people 16 years or older eligible to work actually working. So we need more people to get back to work for a meaningful recovery in the labor market. And then we saw in other economic news, the price of oil broke below $80 a barrel. Hasn't been down there for a long time. Now, what's caused oil to drop? Basically, oil is pegged to the dollar. So as the dollar gets stronger, the price of oil drops. And the world economies aren't doing good. So that's pushing up the value of the dollar, dropping the price of oil. That's great for us at the pump. You've noticed gas prices have dropped significantly. And that's going to keep inflation down, which is good news for the bond market. Now, what else has helped the oil price drop is that world demand has dropped. The United States is producing a lot more of its own oil, so it's importing a lot less, so that's less demand. And then Saudi Arabia has actually increased production, so more supply, less demand, that's driving the price down as well. So great news there on the price of oil. That's going to keep inflation low, and it's going to help us at the pump. And then we saw weekly initial jobless claims on Thursday. Came out a drop of 10,000 claims from the previous week to 278,000 claims. That's the 8th week in a row we're below 300,000 claims. That's great news on jobless claims. And the 4-week moving average dropped to 279, which is the low not seen for 14 years. So great news there on jobless claims. Now, if we dig into the housing news, CoreLogic released their report, their home price index report for September 2014, and it showed year-over-year home prices were up 5.6%. Slight drop from August, which was 5.8%. But so it's showing the housing market slowing, but we're in the historically good range of where home prices appreciate. Anywhere between 5 and 6% is the historical average over the last 30 years. So we're in a good range there that is sustainable. Double-digit appreciation was not sustainable, so hopefully we can stay in this 5% range for the next couple of years. That'll be a nice, consistent year-over-year home price appreciation. Now, if we dig into the local news, the next free first-time homebuyer seminar is Saturday, November 22nd in Towson, Maryland, from 10 a.m. to noon at the Sheraton Baltimore North Hotel right there on Delaney Road. And you can register for that event, but give us a call in the office at 410-412-3319 or online, Marylandhomebuyerseminars.com. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.